Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is America about to hit Syria, and is that about to be the excuse that the international bankers have been looking for, that they will use to hit America with a series of suitcase nukes? Could it be that all of this is all set up? Could it be the international bankers are actually applauding the fact that they're finally about to get America to hit Syria? Well, if I could get a hold of Trump, if he'd listen to me, I would tell him, don't hit Syria. We're going to talk about that today. Got some very important information for you. In November of 1998, Stanislav Lunev, the highest-ranking Russian military officer to ever defect from Russia, made a Prophecy Club DVD called Russian Defector Warns America. In this video, he stated that he knew for a fact that some 50 lost in Russia suitcase nuclear bombs had been smuggled into the United States. Then, May 5th of 2003, Michael Boldea, grandson of Dmitry Duduman, had a dream called Season of Sorrow, and he was shown that suitcase nukes will be going off in California, Illinois, Michigan, Arizona, Washington State, Florida, and New York. Dmitry said, "These are the places where those who were sent here long ago to bring fear and cause chaos have situated themselves. They lie in wait, planning and plotting destruction. They are as coiled serpents, looking forward to the hour when they will be loosed upon this nation. But if God's children will pray, once more he will delay the season of sorrow that is yet to come." Notice it said yet to come, meaning we can pray a delay, but we can't stop it. January 9, 2005, I was shown in a dream, the Nukes 9/11, that there would be a series of suitcase nuclear explosions all across America. International bankers would use sophisticated bombs and experts in several cities, with one hitting a regional bank, destroying the records and backups. This would put billions of dollars into the hands of international bankers while throwing the United States and their economy into a free fall. Then, after the floodwaters of Katrina disaster receded, people went to the bank for their money. The bank told them that they had lost all the records in the flood, but that any alleged funds would be returned to the citizens if they could just prove that their pre-Katrina funds were in the bank. When the people explained they too lost their records, the bank simply kept the money. And the question is, did the bankers steal the money from an entire region as a test case to see if they could get away with it? When no one came to the rescue of these depositors, I think that's when they hatched the idea to do it on a national scale. In 2005, former Congressman Kurt Weldon, vice chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, uncovered a plot to set explosions in some 10 American cities. He could not get the authorities to act, so he published the information into a book called Countdown to Terror. 10 cities he reported that would be hit would be Valdez, Alaska, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Boston, New York City, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Chicago, Miami, and Houston, Texas. On October 15, 2004, in a dream summarized as The Eagle and the Serpents, Michael Boldea was shown an eagle was killed by 3 serpents. He was told the first bite was 9/11, a brown snake. He was told the second serpent was much worse than the first, and he saw that it had red and black diagonal stripes. The third serpent, one of many colors or many nations, finally killed the eagle. That's when the thought occurred to me that the red and black stripes on the second snake might be Syria, as their flag is red and black, and we seem to be heading on a collision course with attacking Syria somehow, some way. The angel said the first bite was 9/11. The second is yet to come, being Syria, probably, my guess, and the third being some kind of a Russian attack, and it will be our destruction. The second snake bite came from an unexpected place, possibly internally. Then in February 2013, Doug Metzger made a DVD entitled, Will You Survive America's Fall? He reports that he was shown a vision of suitcase nukes hitting Los Angeles, New York City, Las Vegas, Washington, D.C., Chicago, San Francisco, Seattle, Orlando, Dallas, Atlanta, and Denver. Do you see anything similar there? You should. Several of the cities are repeated. In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let a thing be established. August 28, 2013, I began connecting the dots of God's revealed secrets, i.e. the Syrian flag being the red and black, or possibly that second snake. The final piece came together when I saw the poison gas release in Syria in 2013. The chemical weapons attack would give the needed excuse for the U.S. to attack Syria, which in turn will give the pretense or the needed excuse for the international bankers to hit America with suitcase nukes. The result, as I've shown, will be that the central records of a bank will be destroyed, allowing billions of our dollars to go directly into the international bankers' pockets. These occurrences were, at that time, 2013, imminent. Then, August 30th of 2013, I put God's warning on the radio, i.e. that Syria could be the red and black snake. And I called for our congregation, the Prophecy Club listeners, and our Fast Track Fasting prayer team, asking God to stop the U.S. from hitting Syria, thus removing the excuse for the international bankers to hit America. Question was, would our prayers delay this season of sorrow? We believe that they did. Monday, September 9th, 2013, Secretary of State John Kerry was in a meeting. He was asked, quote, is there anything at this point that his government, meaning Syria, could do or offer that would stop an attack by America on Syria? His reply may have delayed the season of sorrow. I believe it did. Sure, he said, he responded, Assad could turn over every single bit of his chemical weapons to the international community in the next week. Turn them over, all of them, without delay. Allow a full and total accounting. But he isn't about to do that, so it can't be done. Well, the Russian Sergei Lavrov picked up on Kerry's comment. Lo and behold, the following morning, President Assad of Syria announced that he had become a full member of the Chemical Weapons Pact, which requires the destruction of all chemical weapons within 30 days. And within 30 days, with proper supervision, Syria claimed that it had destroyed their chemical weapons. The Russians claimed they confirmed it. Now, we, at that point, did a thank you, Lord. The season of sorrow has been delayed once. One time. Delayed. Okay, that's a good thing. Now, brothers and sisters, this was huge. Along with any other Christians who had prayed all across America that we would not attack Syria, that our prayers were granted, and the delay of season of sorrow in 2013 was successfully delayed. Hallelujah. Now, I believe the evil plan was for the United States to attack Syria, thus allowing them to play in our hearts to get us to allow Syrian refugees into America. Our thought process would be, well, we hit them, now we have to care for them. But we didn't hit them. But guess what? They still brought in a bunch of Syrian refugees. Remember, Obama was sneaking them in flights overnight. Let's go on, though. The international bankers can't just set off some 20 to 50 suitcase nukes without a patsy to blame it on. Remember the Hegelian dialectic, which says, first, you create a problem. Then you create an antithesis, or you offer the solution to the problem, which gives you the change that you're looking for. It's how you change a nation. It's how you change people. Here's the way we would say that. When you want to foment a change in a society, first you create the problem, offer the solution. The solution provided just happens to move you to your goal. So if your objective is to take down America and merge us into a world government, first, you get a patsy nation like Syria or Iran to incite a U.S. warship to attack or an incident that they can claim the U.S. attacked them. Then you set off a series of suitcase nukes all across America, blame it on Iran or Syria. After all, Iran has openly stated that if Tehran was attacked, nuclear detonations would take place on U.S. soil. Could the events now taking place in Syria present a cause for suitcase nukes to hit the United States? Could a rebel group commanded by international bankers be the one who released the poison gas, cooperating with evil communist Muslim New World Order U.S. leadership, telling them to release the gas, to give the United States warships cause to attack, providing the patsy for the international bankers to detonate from 20 to 50 suitcase nukes? Was there a release of chemical at all? My question. From the footage I look at, I don't think so. I don't see any faces on there that tell me that a great chemical attack took place. I haven't seen stacks of some 40 bodies. I haven't seen people foaming at the mouth. All I saw was a couple of kids getting drenched with a water hose. And the look on their face was not necessarily that they had been in some terrible, drastic, dastardly attack. The look on their face was, okay, Daddy, I did it. Are you done squirting me now? I don't even think there was an attack. And if there was an attack, then probably it was all set up, probably by the CIA. Now, I've not seen proof of any chemical attack in Syria either time. I don't think there has been one since the first incident that was real. All right, now let's bring this up to date. All of that is kind of past history. However, today's date is 4/11/2018. As we speak, Donald Trump has said he is going to hit Syria. So let me summarize where we are. I believe that Dmitry Duduman's internal revolution has started. Russia is angry and growing in strength and anger daily. We see infighting among U.S. leadership. The Department of Justice has refused to turn over documents. The Mueller Russian collusion probe is taking place against Trump. Mueller just arranged for Trump's personal lawyer to be hit with a no-knock raid, confiscating everything, shutting him down. Chairman Nunes' investigation into the FISA abuses is pushing for documents, starting with Mueller investigation, to be released. In other words, they're trying to show that this whole Mueller investigation, this whole Russia thing, had no basis. Then, of course, and this is something we got to look at, 12 plus 8 months equals 400 years and 40 years. You see, we're approaching 400 years since the Mayflower Compact was signed. I believe God gave America 400 years, just as he gave 400 years to the children of Israel to be in Egypt. He gave us 400 years as a nation. That 400 years concludes on about or around the year 2000. Getting close to it. Then, of course, we know that the number 40, it rained 40 days and 40 nights. Nineveh was supposed to be judged in 40 days. Instead, she was destroyed 40 years later. So 40 is the number of judgment. We also know that it's coming upon the year the year 2020 does two things. The year 2020 is 400 years from when the Mayflower Compact was signed November the 11th of 1620. It's also coming upon 40 years since Dmitry Duduman had the angel come to him and say that he's going to send him to America to give them a warning from God. Meaning 40 years warning to America and 400 years since America was contracted with God to form a nation. Meaning 2020 could very well be, now please do not put words in my mouth. I did not say America is going to fall in 2020. But what I do believe is that 2020 is the year that God will remove his hand of protection. Meaning, after that, America, you're on your own. Meaning, we've only got about a year and 8 some odd months before we hit that general time for America to fall. Did I say America is going to fall in 2020? No, I didn't. Is it likely? Yes, it is. Let's go on, though. Also, Trump just signed an executive order to require more work from welfare payment recipients. Terry Bennett said that when the checks start stopping from the government, that's when the internal revolution will start. The Brits say that Russia poisoned 2 former spies for the Brits on the Brits' soil using Russian nerve agents. Russians deny it. Now, I understand. I'm not saying that Russia's a great guy. But I also think that just like a bad person can tell the truth, a good person can lie. And what I sense, I think we're being lied to. I don't think the Russians actually hit those people with the nerve agent, and I don't think Assad has actually hit the people with the chemical weapons. I would love to see more proof, but of course, it's not being provided. Then Russia begs for independent investigation and claims innocence in both the spy incident and the Russia incident. the Syria incident. Now, here's the thing. If you're guilty, you don't stand up and call for international groups to come over and investigate the situation, but Russia is. Syria is. I think that America is being set up. I think it is the hand of God setting us up because, again, what were we told? That God would cause the Russian bear to grow strong and angry. It's all part of the fall of America. Now let's talk about Syria. U.S. claims Syria used chemical weapons on the Syrian rebels. I don't think so. Footage is of a man and 3 children being watered with a garden hose. The expression on the boy's face is, okay, Daddy, are you finished squirting me in the face now? I didn't see any devastated look on those children's face. I didn't see any devastated look on it. I didn't see anything in there that told me that there was really a chemical attack, except the people reading the text said, oh, there was people foaming from the mouth. Well, I didn't see any people foaming. Show me. I didn't see it. I don't believe it. The voice then says some people were foaming from the mouth. The video shows no evidence of an attack, especially a chemical attack. My opinion, probably the CIA. If it's not CIA, it's deep state somebody someplace. And it's probably from Western powers. Probably it was all set up trying to get us to attack Syria. Why? Well, probably because that's going to give the excuse to set off the Suitcase nukes. That is going to be a very big blow to America and move us rapidly toward world government. And of course, Israel. Now, I love Israel, but they're not necessarily doing everything correct all the time. Israel would love to see the United States destroy its enemy Syria for them. Syria claims innocence in this latest chemical attack. Syria begs for independent investigation claims, and they say that they're innocent. They're asking people to come in and check on it. Now, that's not what some people said. Oh, well, they won't let them in the area. Well, that's not what other people have said. They're asking. The Russians and the Syrians are asking people to come in and investigate not only the spy situation, but also the Syria situation. But, of course, there's no investigation. If Trump were to call me, I'd say, Trump, just sit back. What you need to do is send some people you really know, not from the intelligence community, not from the government, from back in your business dealings. Send them over into Syria. Let them do a little checking around, see if they can find evidence that there really was some kind of a chemical attack. I don't think there was. Russia has involved itself with Syria. So, since Russia has been building bases in Syria, any attack on Syria is a possible attack on the Russians. Now, there's no prophecy that says that when America attacks Syria, that Russia is going to retaliate and take out America. Instead, the prophecies say when the Arabs attack Israel, that's when Russia attacks. So this is not it, but it could very well be the second snake bite. Trump says he's ready to fire missiles at Syria. Russia says they will shoot down any U.S. missiles fired at Syria. And look at this. Target launch sites. In other words, if there is a strike by the Americans, then the missiles will be downed, and even the sources from which the missiles were fired would be taken out. Those are war words. That's a war situation. That could start a war right there. He went on to say, a clash should be ruled out, and therefore we are ready to hold negotiations. Russia and the United States blocked attempts by each other in the UN Security Council on Tuesday to set up international investigations into chemical weapons attacks in Syria. Okay, then America just needs to say, well, then I'm not going to attack. I'm not going to do anything till it is proven that Syria did, in fact, release chemical weapons on its people. Till then, I'm not going to do anything. Now, in my opinion, and I'm not for Russia here, though what I'm about to say is it's going to sound like I'm Russia. I'm not for Russia. But in my opinion, I think it's a bad idea for Russia to shoot down or inhibit the American attack on Syria in any way. Because what Russia should do is show weakness and a failure to be able to stop those missiles. In my opinion, what Russia should do is sit back and do nothing and let us hit Syria again. Why? Because if they take out those missiles, it'll show America that they can. It'll show a little bit of the secret weapons that Russia should not be showing. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Russia will really take them out. Attack on Syria would give the excuse for a series of suitcase nukes all across America. And that would give the excuse for maybe Seattle to be hit with a nuke. Now, these are a bunch of dead birds. And the article came out, would you believe, exactly at the same time, August or April 10th. At least 100 dead geese. You're going to be saying, wait a minute, what does that have to do with Syria? It has a lot to do with Syria. 100 dead geese plunged from the sky into an Idaho Falls, Idaho parking lot on Saturday. A conservation officer found 51 of the dead geese shortly after a lightning storm, and another 60 turned up on a nearby rooftop. Did you catch that? Some 50 in a parking lot, another 51 on a rooftop. In other words, that's exact. Let me tell you what I think is happening. I think that the Russians start playing with our scalar wave every time we make them mad. We made them mad, and they hit us with 4 hurricanes back to back to back to back. Then, of course, we just made them mad here a couple of weeks ago over this spy incident. All of a sudden, we've had 5 different military aircraft go down. One of them was a Blue Angel. This guy was good. He could fly 30 different airplanes. All of a sudden, he falls out of the sky. How do you get 50 some odd birds to fall out of the sky in a very small area? Let's go on with the article. More than 50 dead geese plunged into a parking lot. The discovery of Idaho Falls followed a storm with lightning. Okay, does not necessarily mean they were taken out by the storm. Probably they were taken out by a scalar wave. There's been a lot of storms. I mean, we've been having storms for centuries, but we haven't seen this happen but a couple of times before. And I think it's all scalar wave. Followed a storm, lightning, and golf ball size hail, suggesting the geese were killed by a lightning strike. Wrong. Several of the geese had their stomachs blown open. Okay, there's been people, there's been birds, there's been bears, there's been a lot of things hit by lightning. I never heard of anybody getting their stomach blown open. That's scalar wave. Now, let me briefly explain scalar wave. Like a laser leaves point A, goes to point B, straight line. Radar leaves point A, goes to point B, straight line. But scalar wave doesn't do that. Scalar wave is interdimensional, meaning it leaves point A, and it may pass B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and all of a sudden wind over here on X with no warning that it was even coming or hit. The only thing they can tell when scalar wave is there is that the birds leave the area. They believe it took out the Thresher submarine. They believe it took out the Challenger. They believe it's taken out many of our satellites. Look, scalar wave is something that Nikola Tesla came up with. They took it to the Americans first, but Americans have a miscalculation in some of their arithmetic. They couldn't make it work. Well, the Russians made it work. Now, scalar wave can take out anything in the air, on the ground, on the sea, under the sea, any place on the globe, anytime they want to, with almost no sign that it was even there. It is like the perfect weapon. It can be like a giant umbrella to cover a city, like a force field. Or it can make a large area of the atmosphere hot, as in make a tornado, make a hurricane. It can make it cold, as in dump all kinds of snow or rain or make floods. I mean, it can be a weather machine. It can do a lot of really, really bad things. Seems to me like every time we make the Russians mad, they turn on their scalar wave, and this is proof they turned on the scalar wave again. Hail likely would have knocked them out of the sky, but then they would have been able to glide down and land at different places. In other words, he's saying this really wasn't a storm. Burrow collected the bodies of 48 snow geese and 3 Ross's geese in a 100 to 200 yard radius of the parking lot. How do you get birds flying all at once to just fall out of the sky? I'm telling you, it's scalar wave. She found 60 more dead geese on the roof of the Yellowstone warehouse, a self-storage company, bringing the total to at least 112. We're in trouble. The Russians are mad. And they're using their scalar wave, and they may start using more than just scalar wave. I believe we could launch every nuclear weapon we have, every aircraft, Everything we have, we could launch it all at Russia and scale away, could take it out easily. Not even worried about it. I don't even think the Russians are even concerned with America's defenses. Let's go on. April 15, 2002. Prophet Leslie Johnson was given a dream. Talked about it a lot of times. Called Arafat in the hospital. 6 points to the dream: that Arafat would go to the hospital. That was fulfilled about 2 years later. That Israel will give the Palestinians a state. A Palestinian state would be a temporary measure to allow the Israelis time to strengthen their military. Then oil will be discovered in Israel. Wonder who will do that. Then oil will make the Jews willing to fight for the land. Israel and America will go against most of the rest of the Arab world. That's World War III. Now, the point you got to notice here is that the first part of that prophecy has been fulfilled, meaning you can count on the rest of the prophecy. Now let's go on. It's saying that there's a Palestinian state that is coming. That's a key. Then, January 22 of 06, in the night she heard the audible voice of God say, Israel refuses help to America. A lot of people ask me, will you give us the exact order that the headlines were given? Yes, this is the exact order. This is the order they were given to her. Israel refuses help to America. Omar ushers in Palestinian state. Catastrophe hits America. One of America's greatest times of need. Israel is attacked. America sends troops. Chaos reigns as Americans protest help to Israel. Then she heard my voice quoting Dmitri. The fall of America will start with an internal revolution started by the communists. Then over on the right, you can see she said that she was told that Americans became furious. They were mad at the U.S. government. They were mad at the Jews, the Muslims. She said that's when she heard my voice quoting Dmitri Dudwin. These future headlines may be very close. However, there is a little bit of good news what I'm saying today. At this particular time, here's what's missing in the prophecy, meaning that I don't think it's time for Russia to attack yet. For one, we're not forcing, nor is there any discussion for a Palestinian state in Israel. Also, yes, there is fighting along the Israeli-Palestinian border, but there is no talk of a Palestinian state yet. So in summary, I think the bear is very angry. I think that we must do something or we're going to be in trouble as a nation. Let me tell you about the Fast Track team, because chances are you're watching this, you're probably already praying the same way our Fast Track team is praying. But you can make your prayers more powerful by praying in agreement. Same prayer, same day, same fast. Join Fast Track Fasting Team at prophecyclub.com. I never, ever, ever ask any donations. I never send any product offers. This is for one thing and one thing only, and that is fasting and prayer. Every Tuesday, I send you a personal email from me to you telling you what I'd like for you to fast and pray for. And on that particular day, yes, you can pray for a lot of people a lot of times. But on that particular day, that particular fast, we ask you to try to pray just primarily for our ministry. Why? So that we're focused. A focused group of prayers pounds into the throne of God more powerfully. Remind you, Deuteronomy 19:15 says, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses let a thing be established. That one can chase 1,000, but 2 can chase 2,000, 10,000. And wherever 2 or more agrees touching any one thing, it will be given them. So when, brothers and sisters, we pray, we fast, same prayer, same fast, same day, that's more powerful. Summary for today is around 50 suitcase nukes are probably in America. 2 witnesses say they will be detonated. It will be worse than 9/11. We are 12 to 18 months away from the possible fall of America. Question is America running out of time? Is America about to be hit with a second snake bite having to do with Syria? So I'm asking everybody to pray that we do not hit Syria, that this does not lead to the series of suitcase nukes. And I'm also asking for your support, your prayers for Prophecy Club, your prayers that we will be able to continue to reach more people. And I want to tell you, I love this DVD. I mean, this is the most powerful DVD. I thought Revelation was going to be the best DVD that I ever made. This one may be better. 17 secrets in the feasts and the trumpets. Very, very powerful information. And it talks about the coronation of Jesus, the wheat and barley harvest. You will hear things on this DVD. Matter of fact, 17 things on this DVD you probably have never heard about Bible prophecy before. Then we also had Bree Keaton in to make Is Trump Our Patrick Henry? Also an excellent DVD. And you can get both of those DVDs brand new for a gift of $45 at prophecyclub.com. Then, of course, I made another DVD called Revelations on Revelation because I memorized Revelation, I started getting these revelations, and so I put it into a DVD. And after I'd made the DVD, then the revelations didn't stop. So I had to turn around and make another DVD called Kings and Priests. And then we had Adam Johnson in to make a triple DVD set called King James or 400 Counterfeits. All of those have some great deals on it. Go check them out at prophecyclub.com. In the meantime, if you want to go to heaven, you can. It's a free gift. God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him would not perish, but have everlasting life. All you have to do is admit you have sinned, confess with your mouth, believe in your heart that Jesus is raised from the dead, and repent, turn to him, and I will see you in heaven. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers. And thank you for your gifts of support. God bless.